Hi, welcome to the Recovery Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abbasi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And I hit record without even knowing what I'm going to talk about today. That is because, I have a topic and a bunch of notes that I took this morning in my meeting. And the topic was solitary drinking and isolation. And that sense of impending doom, I should say, that I had in when I was drinking. And I'm not feeling it today because I don't feel good. And I've been feeling a steady decline in my health as far as symptoms go. They've been increasing steadily since Thanksgiving. It started with Thanksgiving riding in the car out to my family's house about an hour away, being there with people, which seems like it wouldn't be a lot because it's not, it's very low key. My family's very low key. So it's not like people were running around and hooting and hollering or anything. But it's just being in a different environment. My eyes move around a lot more. Plus, we were sitting at a table and there were, about 8 of us sitting around the table, 6 of us sitting around the table. And that requires me to look back and forth around the table as people are talking. And I get in those situations and I don't always acknowledge or remember that I've got this disorder that I need to pay attention to, because typically when I'm in the middle of whatever activity it is that's going to trigger my head, it takes about 10 minutes or so before it happens, before it impacts me and I feel like I'm going to fall over. So I would do it and then feel the repercussions several minutes later, and then slow down, stare at the ground until I started feeling better. And then I would do it again. It's really challenging. It is challenging. And these are the types of things that really push me to the edge of my positive mood, and trying to just continue to bounce back and be positive. And I start feeling sorry for myself when I have done something that doesn't seem like it would be much, doesn't seem like it should impact me, and yet it does. So we did that, and then on Saturday, and I've been Christmas shopping, which I'm scrolling, on my device, and then I feel the impacts, and I shut my device off, and then it just hits me like a freaking tornado, whatever, hurricane, whatever, and then I feel like regretful that I just was scrolling on my device. Like, I beat myself up. There's what I'm trying to, I think, communicate to you is this like internal battle that is going on inside my head, and it's constant and it gets exhausting. I guess there wouldn't be as much of an internal battle if I wasn't always trying to push myself to my limits. Well, on Saturday, my husband and I went to go buy a new car. So we've been talking about this for quite some time. I lost my ability to drive when I had my stroke. I drove after that several times, and when I would drive, I'd have to if I drive to work, I had to sit in my office in the dark for like half an hour, 45 minutes in order to start feeling okay again. Like I would just feel terrible, like I do right now. And So then I had like that huge decline a year and a half ago. And so I have not driven since then. I haven't driven for a year and a half. And I was, I guess, not looking forward to admitting that I was never going to drive again. And I had just bought a car 2 years before that. Um, and so we sold my car. We traded in my car for a brand new 2025 Kia Carnival. We call it a Carnival. And it's so nice. It's so, so nice. And it's big, it's giganto, it's brand new, and we're excited to have it. I'm excited to have it. And it's going to help me to be able to like sit in the back and recline and close my eyes and put up all the shades. And then it'll also help us with moving stuff. We have plans to do different types of things that that'll help us with. And then my dogs will easily be able to get in and out of it. And mostly Boris, the bulldog, he has a problem getting in my old car because he knows that that old car, it goes to the vet, but he doesn't know that this new one goes to the vet. And so yesterday we were standing beside it and the door was open and he tried to jump in and I felt bad. I had to stop him from jumping in because all the seats are still in it and I don't want him getting on the off-white seats. So his first attempt to get in the car, the not minivan, it's not a minivan, it's a multi-purpose vehicle. So his first attempt to get into the MPV was stopped by me. So I hope I didn't make him afraid to try it again. But we're going to take the seats out so that they can frolic around in the back. And I'll have one seat in the back so that I can sit there with my eyes closed and be escorted wherever I need to go. I'm like driving Miss Daisy now. That's what I am. And that's what my husband sends to his boss when he says he needs to take some time in the afternoon because he has to take me to a doctor's appointment. He just sends his boss a picture of driving Miss Daisy, and that's hilarious. Hopefully I'm not as grouchy. He's the grouch, I'm the happy one. So that's actually flipped. But so going to look at the cars, what that feels like is like we go to the car dealership and I'm looking around in the parking lot for the one that we wanted, which happened to not be in the parking lot that we were in. So my eyes are scanning all these different cars, and then I have to make myself stop. And instead, I go into the building, and inside the building, there was the Kia Carnival that we wanted. So I get inside that and am of course looking around, so my eyes are scanning again. And then we get helped by somebody who puts us in a couple of the cars. That's more of my eyes scanning the vehicle. I did not go on any kind of test drive or anything like that, but by then I was already just nauseous and and of course my husband is like, "Are you doing okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing as well as I can do." So anyway, I just have been feeling terrible. I feel terrible, really, really bad. I feel like I rode a roller coaster 20 times, 10 times forward and 10 times backward. And now I'm sitting in front of a funnel cake and I'm supposed to eat it. Like, that's what I feel like right now. I just feel terrible. So I think that's all I can focus on today. And I hate to like have that be the episode, but I think that what we can learn from this are people with vestibular disorders. I'm gonna make sure that I tag this with information associated with vestibular disorders, because if anybody can relate to what I'm experiencing today and since Thanksgiving, that's awesome, because it took me 3 years to be able to find information about vestibular disorders. And the way that I found it was because there was a professor from Stanford who wrote an article about her husband who had a stroke, and I believe that's what happened. And he had a vestibular disorder. I don't know if he had a stroke or not. Now I can't remember, but he had the vestibular disorder. And what she shared was his symptoms, how he can't watch a soccer game and watch the ball go back and forth up and down the field. And that was my cue that I can relate to this. And that got me going down this whole avenue towards vestibular disorders, towards vision impairments that don't have to do with your vision system. So if I can provide real experiences with what it's like to have a vestibular disorder, then this episode is worth it. And I'm not just here complaining. So I would say the biggest issue that I have had over the past few weeks, well, what's today? Today's the 9th. So 2 weeks since Thanksgiving was riding in the car with my eyes closed, sitting in a room with multiple people and not being able to look around at their faces while they're talking, because that's too much stimulation. There's when my symptoms get really bad, walking is difficult. So walking my dogs over the past few days has been challenging for me. And then doing the car buying, shopping online, and attempting to scroll in Amazon or any other website is challenging. And the way that it makes me feel is that somebody has shook my head really hard, or that I got punched in the head, or I hit my head on concrete. It's like my brain is bruised. That's what I would imagine that a concussion feels like. That is how they treat me, as if I've had a concussion, and I haven't. I had a stroke. So it's symptoms that they never go away. I have a headache every day. And if my symptoms get triggered, that headache starts to become more of a migraine. And I have pain behind my eyes. And the only thing that really helps is to rest, is to not move my eyes around. So one thing that I wanted to tell you all is that on Monday, this coming Monday, so a week from today, I have what's called a VNG. It's a test for patients with vestibular disorders. And the purpose of it is to either diagnose something that is wrong with your vestibular system. For example, your ears, something's going on in your ears, the balance issue. There's a lot of different parts to your vestibular system. I think there are 3 different parts, is what I remember from my research. And so there's a lot of things to test. And what this is like a visual video type test. And I believe they're going to track my eye movements. So it's going to be very, very triggering for my symptoms. And in preparation for that, I'm going to not do my podcast on Saturday, Sunday, and probably Monday after the appointment. So I want to be fully prepared without having used any digital device for 48 hours prior to it. So I'm also going to, I think, take anti-nausea medication before it and all of this stuff. I heard some people say it's fine, other people say it's terrible. I can tell you it's going to be terrible because I can't even look at video, you know? I mean, I record this and I look over the laptop because I can't watch my own self moving when I'm recording. So, I'm really nervous about it. Um, I'm not going to say I'm scared. I'm just going to walk right in there and do it. It's not going to kill me. I'm laughing because I'm like, I hope. No, I mean, it's not going to kill me. It's just going to be really difficult to recover from if, in fact, it affects me the way that I expect it to. So, in preparation, my last podcast for the week will be on Friday. And then I'm going to be taking a few days off. And I hate doing that. I would only do that if I really need to. I don't think I've ever taken 3 days off from the podcast in a year and a half because I need you guys. But that's what's going to be happening. So that's all I have. I really just wanted to give you an update on how I'm feeling, I guess. And we'll get back to other topics, I suppose, tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate you being here and thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.